Ladies and gentlemen, Substriker Army, my name is JaCubAsAlways, and welcome to Overrated, Underrated, or Properly Rated Pokemon Edition, where I go over your guys' topics that you guys want me to talk about, and I gotta say if it's overrated, underrated, or properly rated. If you guys want to be featured in a future video like this, comment your overrated, underrated, or properly rated so we can go over them in the future, or just join the Discord as I ask every week for either hot topics or like hot takes, or I ask for this series. So let's get started and let's do it. First up, we have Peace Guardian, aka Ahsoka, and she asked, the Pokemon Black and White manga where people fuse with Pokemon. It's a good read. You should read it before answering this. I've not had time to answer this, so I can't properly rate this. So I think by default, we have to say it's properly rated because I genuinely do not have the time to read everything right now, but maybe in the future I will, so maybe we'll go over this in the future. But anyway, I still wanted to go over it because she took the time to give me an idea for this, so I have to do that properly. Next up, we have Demigod Shmarda, and he says, Pokemon Insurgents. Can I just say Pokemon Hegemony is better? Like, just the beginning part of Insurgents, the fact that there's not min grinding, the fact you have to just grind your entire team up, that's not my cup of tea. I don't want to sit there and grind my team up. I know there's Auto later in the game, but that's like, I think 2 or 3 badges in, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's not, but I feel like it should be just right at the get-go. Just do what Hegemony does. Do what Grueling Gold does. Give yourself min grinding so you can just get up to the level cap and play the game instead of grinding at the beginning of the game where that's never fun. I think the game would be a lot better if they added that and implemented it. So I do have to just say it is a slight bit overrated. Not fully, a slight bit overrated. Bacon Inferno 2680 says the National Dex cut was a good thing for competitive, but it was really bad from a casual standpoint. Evidence is what allowed Nactex UU and not being able to bring Infernape and Sword and Shield. Honestly, I think the National Dex cut is underrated. I know everybody's all upset because their favorites weren't in it, and guess what? My favorite wasn't in it either. Zipstrika was not in Sword and Shield. It finally came back in Scarlet and Violet just a couple months ago when the DLC dropped. I'm happy that Zipstrika back, even though it's not a very good Pokemon. Terra does help it a little bit. It got, like, Supercell Slam. Did it have high horsepower in Gen 7? God, I don't remember. I actually don't remember if it had it. It might have had it back then, but it got some new buffs. Why didn't they? They should have just given it Flare Blitz, though, too. Unless they did, and I'm just stupid, but I don't think so. I think it's underrated, the National Dex cut. Honestly, I think it's a perfect thing. But yeah, I do like the National Dex cut for sure. Godeman, aka Yodeman, says they should have stuck with Mega Evolution as the main gimmick. It was the first one introduced and people liked it. Although there's nothing wrong with having new gimmicks, they never should have gotten rid of it and kept making more Mega Pokemon or other Pokemon. Yes, Mega Evolution is... Now, I'm not going to say it's underrated, but I'm definitely not saying it's overrated. So I do think Mega Evolution is properly rated. Although I love Mega Evolution, it is my favorite gimmick. I can't really say it's underrated because a lot of people love it. But I know there are people out there, not going to name names, that do not like Mega Evolution. So therefore, I think I have to just say it's properly rated where it's at, because I know a lot of people love it, but then there are some people that when you dislike Mega Evolution, you hate it. So I'm going to say properly rated. Next up, YouTube Social HD says the Squirtle Squad. I mean, who can't love the Squirtle Squad, man? Who cannot love the Squirtle Squad? The Squirtle Squad. Come on, it's a Squirtle Squad. They have cool sunglasses. They're hip. They're cool. And why am I using the word hip in 2024? I don't know. It wasn't even a cool word when I was younger. So I have no idea why I'm using the word hip. Regardless, though, I think the Squirtle Squad is underrated. They're just cool dudes, you know? How can you be mad? How can you dislike the Squirtle Squad? I'm just saying. Mega Rider Fire 1994 says, I don't know if anyone ever brings this up, but I really kind of hate how trainers, not just Frontier Brains, even your random Frontier Brain trainer in Battle Frontier, utilize legendary Pokemon. Seriously, in what universe explains why these trainers even have access to them in the first place, and how is that legal in the universe? So basically, no normal trainer or no AI trainer or no normal trainer, the user-controlled trainer, should be using legendary Pokemon. I think that's probably properly rated. I think in a ROM hack, yes, why not? But in battle facilities like that, Nah, you don't need to. Like, legendaries just make things too easy. I think what they could be doing instead of that is they could just make a legendary thing. Like, if you want to use legendaries, the entire thing is your legendaries. You bring legendaries, they bring legendaries. Or do it like VGC, where you're restricted to 2 legendaries. I know it's like 3v3, so it's a little bit different. And Battle Factory and Battle Tower is kind of weird. It's like its own little weird thing. I remember how I got into competitive in the first place. I was playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And this is what made me really want to do it. I was doing Battle Frontier and Heart Gold Soul Silver, and I loved it. I think I was using a Porygon Z, and it was just so much fun. And it was like, you know what? I know there's competitive. I knew about competitive for a while. Why don't I get into competitive? And then one thing led to another, and I started doing competitive Pokemon. This was when Black and White came out. I was just happening to play Heart Gold Soul Silver at the time. But I really still wanted to play competitive, and that's when I got started. So that's a really cool, nifty thing about me now that you guys know. Okay, so this was almost from a year ago, but I put a tweet out, and I still want to cover them because why not? I forgot to put it to Twitter. I never made this video back then, but we're doing it now. We're going back 8 months ago to June 12th, 2023, and we're just going to go over your guys' thoughts and ideas too, because I just wanted it to have a little bit more substance to this video. So the game deck says, this is a cool idea. I'll throw my favorite Pokemon down, Weezing. So Weezing's a pretty cool Pokemon. I mean, James has it from Jesse and James and Team Rocket and Pokemon Anime. Weezing's like, Weezing! It's got like one of the most legendary cries and the most legendary things in the anime. I just love it. I'm gonna say Weezing's probably a little bit underrated. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's overrated, but I don't think it's properly rated. I think people don't give Weezing enough credit because it is an amazing physical tank. It gets neutralizing gas. It has levitate, so technically it really only has one ability, or sorry, one weakness, I should say, not ability. It's got 3 abilities in neutralizing gas, levitate. Gosh, is there one more? There has to be one more. I can't think of its hidden ability for some reason off my head. But anyway, I digress. Next, we have Lord Impotent saying Bidoof. I mean, Bidoof is not overrated at all. But Bidoof can't be underrated because it is God. It's properly rated as a God. It is the Lord and Savior. It is Bidoof. And Bidoof must get its revenge on Wargreymon. If you know the reference, you know the reference. Third Gen Gamer, aka Michael, says Magby. Michael, I'm not going to be mean to you. Magby is not overrated. I won't be mean, I promise. But I'm also not going to underrate it either because it's cute. It's properly rated, just like Bidoof. So I'm not going to be underrating it. So hashtag we love Magby, by the way. WBS Energy says Zebstrika, more specifically the Zebstrika Army, a slap move of your choice. Both of my IRL slaps on you. Oh my gosh, yeah. So he slapped me twice. So I visited Michael last year in Michigan, and Braden's actually a friend of Michael's, and he slapped me then. If I can find a video for it, I need to remind myself to get the video slap. Oh my god, that was terrible. I need to put that up there. Anyway, yeah, Zebstrika Army community is awesome. We love it. I'm gonna underrate us because we will be the best community by the end of 2024 in the world, in the Pokemon community. Let's freaking go. Let's get to 100,000 subs by the end of 2024 with your help. I know we can do it. This person named Jojo says, we need to talk about how amazing Legends Arceus was. So the topic is Legends Arceus. My question would be, what is stopping Pokemon community from creating more games with the same mechanics, attention to detail? It was for fans and it showed Legends has such a special place in her heart. Okay, so I'm going to probably piss off a lot of people here. And I apologize, except not really, but somewhat. It wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't my cup of tea. I think it is not overrated. I do not think it is underrated. I think it is properly rated because I know a lot of people that absolutely adore it. They love how it was open world, but there are a lot of people that I know that do not like it. They did not like it. It was not their cup of tea. It was not my cup of coffee. So I'm going to say it's properly rated. I know I've used a lot of properly rated in this video, but it's just how I feel, you know? So, sorry. Legends Arceus is properly rated. It's definitely not underrated. It's definitely not overrated. That's smack in the middle at properly rated. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of Underrated, Overrated, or Properly Rated. My name is JaCubAsAlways. If you guys could, please subscribe to the channel. As I just said, we're on the road to 100,000 by the end of 2024. Let's get there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I love you all. Peace.